Hello students, I am here once again with another topic, a poem by Kamala Das, that is Punishment in Kindergarten. So let us first get introduced to the poem and poet. Kamala Das, born in 1934, died in 2009. She was an Indo-Anglian poet. I have said the word Indo-Anglian. What do you mean by the word Indo-Anglian? It means that she was among those poets, Indian poets in fact, who have written in English language, English literature. This poem is little autobiographical in nature. Poet recalls childhood experience of painful past. Poem comprises of 3 stanzas. Stanza first is poet's childhood experience when she was scolded by her teacher. Stanza second is about poet remembers in this stanza her schoolmates laughing at her when her teacher rebuked her. And in third stanza, poet says that she has now found peace in her adult life and there is no need to remember her past pain. So, in brief, I can tell you that poem is all about a poet's past experience day. It was in fact a school picnic day in her childhood. Because of her introvert nature आपको पता है क्या होता है, जो बच्चा सबसे अलग थलग रहने वाला हो. Poet kept aloof, वो अलग से रही बाकी बच्चों से पिकनिक डे पे. She kept aloof from other children and she was asked by her teacher to get mixed up with other children, but she didn't get mixed up. The moment teacher turned side, poet was laughed at by her classmates. So she felt insulted and till her adulthood she remembers that day and says that the teacher in fact had drained the joy from her beautiful day. So poem इसी बारे में है जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया. Now let us read the first stanza of poem aloud. Today the world is little more my own. No need to remember the pain. A blue-frocked woman paused, throwing words at me like pots and pans, to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. So, I have written notes here also. Blue-frocked woman means teacher. Throwing words means speaking harshly, throwing words like pots and pans. So, in this stanza, we can say that poet recalls her past experience when she was a child and on a school picnic day, जब एक बार वो पिकनिक पे गई थी, उसकी टीचर भी साथ थी और उसने उसे क्या बताया था? What a peculiar child you are. तुम क्या strange अजीबोगरीब बच्ची हो, तुम बाकी बच्चों से क्यों नहीं मिलती? She is saying that when teacher told her these words were told by teacher in a way as if she had thrown pots and pans. जैसे उसने उसके ऊपर बर्तन फेंके हों. The moment we hear this word, throwing words at me like pots and pans, तो स्टूडेंट्स हमारे जहन में इमेजेस बनती हैं. हमें यूं लगता है जैसे बर्तन कोई फेंक रहा हो, ठन 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 की आवाज़ आ रही. Do you feel that pots and pans are being thrown? This thing is called visual imagery. So we can say that poetic device here used is visual imagery, as well as visual means when we feel something before our eyes. Not only this, when we say blue-frocked woman, तो आपकी आंखों के सामने blue-frocked woman आ जाती है, तो उसको भी हम जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे स्क्रीन पे भी दिखाया है, it is also visual imagery. Then when we say words like pots and pans, जब हमें ठन ठन की आवाज़ आती है, what is this? हमारे कानों को एक साउंड महसूस होती है. This is called sound imagery. Then she goes on saying that to drain that honey-colored day. Honey-colored day in fact means the day was very beautiful because जैसे आप लोग भी जाते हैं पिकनिक वगैरह पे, a child feels very good while on picnic. So she also felt that her day was very beautiful. But that honey-colored day's peace, in fact, the joy of that beautiful day was taken away, or we can say it was spoiled by the teacher when she told her what a strange child you are, and when other kids probably might have laughed at her. So this poem means, so we can summarize the stanza as: Poet recalls her childhood's picnic day when teacher scolded her by calling her strange child. Poet is deeply hurt by teacher's unkind words. The harsh words deeply wound her heart. The whole joy of picnic day was lost for her. So now let us read second stanza. On the lawn, in clusters sat my schoolmates, sipping sugarcane. They turned and laughed. Children are funny things. They laughed in mirth at others' tears. I buried my face in sun-warmed hedge and smelled the flowers and air. So here in this stanza, poet is saying that, as I have told you, that poet in second stanza is telling that when teacher rebuked her, her classmates laughed at her, which was in fact very hurtful for the poet. It wounded her. She got too much hurt. She felt pain because of her sensitive nature. She was very sensitive. And she is saying that when my teacher rebuked me, जब उसकी टीचर ने उसे डांटा, she scolded her on the lawn. She was sitting in the lawn in clusters. Usually you might have seen even you people in schools and colleges are sitting in clusters with friends in groups, clustering in groups. Sat my schoolmates. My schoolmates were also sitting there. So mostly whenever a teacher scolds a child, आप लोगों को भी कभी जब टीचर डांटते हैं तो you feel very bad, you get insulted. अपनी friends के सामने ज़्यादा insult feel करते हैं. So is the poet feeling here. She is saying that in clusters sat my schoolmates sipping sugar cane. वो क्या कर रहे थे? Sugar cane पी रहे थे. You can see here the pic. Other students who are not introvert in nature, they are extrovert probably in nature, जो घुलने मिलने वाले हैं, they are with teacher. And she is peculiar child. In real sense, we can say our introvert child, maybe she doesn't get mingled with other students, so she is sitting or standing separate. She is aloof on that picnic day. Other students are sipping sugar cane, you can see. They turned and laughed. When teacher rebuked me, my other schoolmates, my batchmates, my friends turned towards me. मेरी तरफ मुड़े and laughed. मेरे पे हंसने लगी. And what happened here? Poet got insulted. She felt insulted. She felt painful. She was painful. She got hurt. Children are funny things. They laugh. She is saying that children are very strange. They are funny things. They are not like adult कि उन्हें दूसरों का किसको क्या लग रहा. उनके मन में कहते हैं ना बच्चे मन के सच्चे. उनको हंसी आती तो हंस पड़ते हैं. उन्हें दूसरों के इमोशंस की परवाह नहीं होती है. So she is saying कि children are funny things. They laugh. वो दूसरे अगर रोज भी पढ़ते हैं in mirth. Mirth means happiness, joy, खुशी से. वो हंस पड़ते हैं जब दूसरे रोते हैं at others' tears. And when poet is saying that when she felt insulted, she buried. I buried my face in sun-warmed hedge. मैंने अपने आप को छुपाया. कहाँ पे छुपाया? She hid herself. She hid her face. Hid is the second form of word hide. Hide means छुपाना and hid means second form is छुपाया. I buried. I hid my face where? In sun-warmed hedge. hedge word means bushes, कोई झाड़ियाँ वगैरह जो होती हैं. sun warmed hedge means सूरज की गर्मी से bushes जो थी ये गर्म हो चुकी थी, तपती हुई झाड़ियाँ. So I buried my face in sun warmed hedge means she hid her face in bushes that were probably warmed by sun and smelled the flowers and fields. और मैंने वहाँ पे क्या फील किया? Smell. She smelled flowers, the fragrance of flowers, and also her pain. She was smelling both things. She was feeling both things, suffering and pain together. She was feeling suffering and fragrance of the flowers together. So we can say that second stanza can be summarized as: the poet recalls how schoolmates who were sipping sugarcane laughed ridiculously at her when they heard the teacher rebuking her. You got my point, students? The poet recalls, उसे याद आता है how in this stanza, what is there in this stanza. Poet recalls how schoolmates who were sipping sugarcane laughed ridiculously at her. कैसे उसका मजाक उड़ाते हुए हंसते हैं when they heard the teachers rebuking her. She felt insulted. She sat by the side of bushes. She smelled the sweet fragrance of flowers, though her heart was full of pain. So now let us go for the third stanza. The words are muffled now, the laughing faces only a blur. The airs have tagged along, stopping briefly at blurred halls and moving sadly on. My mind has formed an adulthood. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge, watching the sea, white sun standing lonely in the sky. So, third and concluding stanza. See, now, in first two stanzas, poet has discussed about her past or childhood. What happened, what the experience she went through when she was on a picnic day, how teacher rebuked her, and how those words of teacher have lasted an impression on her personality, that even today she is remembering those words. But in third stanza, she is now an adult. She is no more a child. She is not remembering her past. Now, the third stanza is about her adulthood. Guys, you can also note what I am saying by pausing the video at regular intervals and then note in your notebook if you want to prepare notes. So, the words are muffled now. Muffled now means words have become dim. They are now faint. Means they are lost somewhere in atmosphere. Words don't have any existence now. The laughing face is only a blur. Means now she is adult. She has now transited into adult life, and she is saying that her childhood experience is now over, and what she records in the poem happened long ago. The laughing faces, these words don't exist now. They are muffled now. They are very faint now. The laughing faces only a blur. Blur, you know what is blur? You usually used to take pics from your mobile and then you used to say blurred pic. What do you mean by it? It's little faint. It is not clear. What do you mean by the word blur? Which is not clear. Laughing faces means the images of the faces of students, of her schoolmates who used at her, are now dim and faint. Or you are now here in 12th class. you might have you might be having blurred images of your childhood friends when you were in primary school in some other school, and you have not seen your friends after that for a long time, and you might be remembering the blurred images. Okay, this is same thing happens with the poet, and she is saying that the years have sped along, stopping briefly at the loud hall. This is my favorite line. The years have sped along. Time moves on. As we say, time and tide waits for none. Time never stops. It moves on. Poet is saying that it has stopped briefly at the loud hall. Usually we can say that we used to say, life is full of ups and downs, life is full of joy, happiness, it is also having its ugliness, means it is also having sorrows. So life is a mixture of joy and sorrow. So we usually can say that years have sped along, stopping briefly at beloved halls. What are the beloved halls in fact? Those moments, those stops, those years, those months, or those occasions in the life which gave us happiness, which gave us joy. So poet is saying that words are muffled now, means that words are now faint. But which words? The words told by her school teacher when she rebuked her. The laughing face is only a blur. The reference here is to the students, to her classmates who used to laugh at her. The years have sped along, and now she has, those years have passed, and she has entered into the adult life, stopping briefly at loud halls. I have told you that while going from her childhood to her adulthood, life stopped briefly. Means there were only few occasions in her life which were very joyous, which were full of happiness, and moving sadly on. And life goes on. There are so many sorrowful events in life. My mind has found an adult peace. Poet is saying here that her mind has now found an adult peace. What does it mean? The harsh words of teacher have now become faint in her memory. She does not even well remember the faces of classmates who laughed at her in her misery. The poet says that time has gone by fast since that incident happened in her life. She is now adult and has peace in her life. My mind has found an adult peace means she is now adult and has found peace in her life. No need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. So she doesn't need to remember. What is the need? Why should she remember? Why should she hurt herself once again by remembering that picnic day when she lay hidden by a hedge, watching the still white sun standing lonely in the sky? She remembers a few happy and important events of her past. She doesn't want anymore to remember how her school teacher scolded her and she took an escape in a hidden escape by a hedge, and there she was alone standing watching the still white sun in the sky. So we can say that this poem is about poet's childhood experience. She was a little student in kindergarten. We can sum up this poem as this, and this stanza can be summed up with the passage of time. The poet has found peace and forgotten the painful incidents. Sorry, I have written here the painful with wrong spelling. Please omit the second L. This is single L and there is no space. It might have been wrongly written by me. She is now satisfied with herself. The passing years have reduced the intensity and harshness of the hurtful instance. The angry words and laughing faces are unclear. The years have gone by very fast. Close to heart incidents are remembered and others forgotten. Life has moved on, and no need to look back at the painful incident of childhood. So, dear students, this was all about the poem where I can say that poet recalls her childhood experience. She was a little student in kindergarten. The theme of the poem says it was a fine picnic day. Being a shy, sensitive child, the poet kept aloof from other children. But teacher didn't understand her psychology. She just insulted, rebuked her. She scolded her by saying her a peculiar child. She said harsh words for not getting mixed up with other children. And as she turned, the poet found her classmates laughing at her. She felt deeply pained. The whole joy of the fine day was lost for her. She only hid her face in her head and looked at the sun. The bright sun appeared to her as lonely in the sky as she herself felt by the side of head. So, dear students, this was all about the poem. I have told you about the various poetic devices and we studied the poem stanza wise. Hope you got it, you understood it very well. My lectures will be continuing, and till that, stay home, stay safe, and I will watch you again. I will catch you again. Till that, stay home. Thank you.